So years ago, I quit a job and I wrote a blog post about it called I Quit My Job to Save My Mental Health. What's ironic about this blog post is on my website, it's the most read blog, but nobody leaves a comment. And then when I went deeper into it, I did a deep search on what people are searching for to get to my website. And a lot of people are searching, should I quit my job? How do I quit my job? So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about this recent this stuff that's going on with Bill Belichick, and unless you've been living under a rock for the past 24 hours, you know what I'm talking about. Bill Belichick is what everybody thought was a first ballot Hall of Famer coach. He won in total 8 Super Bowl rings, 6 as the head coach of the Patriots with Tom Brady, and I believe 2 as an assistant coach with the Cleveland Browns a long time ago. But let's go ahead and get into this video here. Did Bill Belichick get blackballed? And did he burn bridges on his way out? So I'm going to use one of my examples here. So I used to work at a lot of fast food restaurants. In one of these fast food restaurants, I was on my way to some city, and I told my job I wasn't going to be able to come there. They wanted me to come. I said, well, I had this vacation well in advance. And they said, well, you need to come to work. And I said, sorry, baby, I'm already on the plane train. And if you live in Atlanta, you know what the plane train is. I'm on my way to my destination. Peace. I'm out. I made my arrangements. Y'all do what y'all got to do. I got back to work. Things didn't go the way I thought they were going to go when I got back, even though I had this vacation planned. And I quit. I said, all right, if that's the way it is, I quit. Now, fast forward, years later down the road, I tried to work for this fast food restaurant at a different restaurant. Word got around about David. I never heard anything back. And I'm like, I'm a veteran. I got a master's degree. This $14 an hour job I can't get because I burned a bridge on the way out and it could not be repaired. So Bill Belichick, yes, he was a winner, but the methods that he took to the top, they were kind of questionable enough for the only reason people say he didn't make it to the Hall of Fame is he cheated. He cheated. A lot of people don't want a cheater to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He needs to be taught a lesson. Now, in the military, you could step on people's backs to get to where you want to go. You can do the same thing in corporate America too. But there's going to be some level where all them backs you stepped on and all them people, all them stepping stones that you use to get you where you want to go, it may come back to bite you. You may come across one of them people that you stabbed in the back when you actually need something from the organization or the industry that you left behind. So Bill Belichick, yes, he was a winner, but in this case here, he may have burned some bridges and he didn't get to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Questions that you should ask when you want to quit your job that I ask myself if you're unhappy with your employer. Let's transition here. Before you get there, did you let your industry know you were unhappy and how did you do it? And I've been there loud enough to say, I hate this job. A lot of my professional experience comes from working in call centers. And I used to sit in my cubicle and say, I hate this job, loud enough for everybody to hear it. And people would start laughing and ha ha ha, I hate this job too, things like that. But did you talk to your manager or your supervisor about the things that are concerning you? Once it popped in your mind, I'm ready to quit. And if you didn't, here's how you do that. You request a meeting with your manager, with your supervisor. If your organization is good, you'll usually have a one-on-one with your manager or your supervisor at least once every 2 weeks to go over your performance and to be able to ask any questions. And if you got it in the back of your mind that, hey, I'm thinking about quitting, sit down with your manager with a list of questions and ask, hey, what's going on with this here? What's going on with this here? Is this process going to change? Is this policy going to change? A lot of the employees on the call center floor or wherever you work at, we're having an issue with this and it's causing us not to get our bonuses, or it's causing a lot of frustration. Or if you're in a customer facing role, it's causing us to look like we don't know what we're doing in front of our customers. Or if you're if your role requires you to be on the phone or typing, whatever, it's making me look like I'm not the expert and I don't know what I'm doing. What is the organization doing to fix that? And what their answer, it may be good enough for you. That all depends on what you're looking for from your organization. But first thing you should do is have that meeting with your manager. Let them know that you're unhappy. Next, I have make sure that you are meeting company standards, because in the call center world, and I don't know what world you're in when it comes to work, but in the call center world, you are what your metrics are. So your metrics are going to speak in rooms that you aren't in. They're not even going to say your name. They're going to say employee A, okay, in my world, this is his call handle time, his transfer rate, his first call resolution. This is his schedule adherence. He's always on time. He's never over his breaks. He's not taking 15-minute gaps in between calls. This is the model employee. And if you are in your call center or whatever line of work you're in, ask to see your metrics. If your job is metric driven, ask to see them. Or, hey, how many bonuses did you get if you work a job that's bonus eligible? But your job should have some way of measuring your performance. Ask to see that. Because it may be you're not getting where you want to be because your performance is not up to par with where the company wants you to be at. So before you go burning them bridges, make sure that you're not the problem and your performance is where it needs to be for the organization before you come to them with a problem. Next, I have in the military we have something called time and service, and this is not going to sound fair, but have you been with your organization long enough to have a problem? That's what they may say. They may say, hey, if you've only been here a year and a half, or you've only been here a year, you've only been here 2 years, and people may be there 5, 10 years, and the first answer you may get back is, I don't even get everything I want. I've been in your seat. This is just the way it is. I hate this is just the way it is company. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate bureaucracy. I hate red tape. But think about how much time you have in service when it comes to military terms, or how long you've been with your organization. If you're like me, you may get in and see a bunch of problems, especially being military. You may see a bunch of problems that you want to get fixed right away, and you know how to fix them. And this is what I hate about a lot of jobs. You know how to fix the problem, but the company, this is just the way it is. Or they don't want to hear it from you. And I hate that too. A lot of people don't want to hear the answer from you. So if you're like me, I live in Atlanta, and the drive sometimes to work is 55 minutes. The drive from home, 55 minutes. You can spend up to 2 hours a day in your car. And I used to ask myself on the way to work, is this drive going to be worth it? And then on the way home, I would ask myself, and before you burn any bridges or anything like that, ask yourself, did I do my job today? Did I do my job? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I started for a very, very, very well-known company. As soon as we got in there, our job titles changed and our roles changed a little bit. They tweaked our job description. And I would go home and say, man, when I make this 55-minute drive home, did I do my job today? Sometimes the answer would be no. So what happens next? When you reach your breaking point, first, see if there's a transfer available. A lateral transfer, see if you can move to a different team, because a lot of organizations, they'll have multiple teams. Hey, it may be something as simple as you need a new manager. Ask to go to a different team. Now, depending on your line of work, it also may mean you have a different shift. But if you are exhausting or checking off everything before you think about burning that bridge or leaving that organization, see if just a small switch or a small change to another team, another department, another role, and maybe a lateral role may be best for you. In the Army, we call this reclassing. So when I got hurt, I was going to have to go from a scout, a combat MOS, to doing something else not in combat. I joined the Army just to fight, so I didn't know how much I would like it. But unfortunately, I got out before I was able to reclass because the military was just too much for me at the time. And you have to think, are your other options appealing. A lot of people spend time on Indeed or LinkedIn looking for other jobs, and think about Bill Belichick when it comes to this question. Are the other options appealing? Bill Belichick tried to get a job before when he was coming off of TV, and I think he only got one interview with the Atlanta Falcons. Then he had to go coach the University of North Carolina because nobody wanted him in the NFL. So when you think you're at your wits' end and think about burning bridges, see what else is out there first before you make that move. Go on Indeed, see if your pay is going to be the same. See if your drive to work is going to be the same. Is it going to be shorter? Is it going to be longer? Just exhaust all of your options and see we'll talk to people in the industry to see what's going on. Because on the other end, if you quit, people in the industry are going to talk about you. Because trust me, all these HR executives and things like that, they talk to each other. And your LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, your job history is going to be on there. And if you give somebody your resume, your job history is going to be on there. Somebody's going to call that organization and ask, hey, is David a good employee or not? How did David leave the organization? They might give you a glowing review or say, David was an asshole, I wouldn't hire him. You're going to waste a lot of time, money, effort, energy on hiring him. So that's how the industry works. Next, I have last thing before you leave an organization, you write that letter of resignation and then you sit on it. And I say sit on it for 2 weeks. Number one, to calm down. Number two, to give yourself a pay cycle to think about it. And if you get paid weekly, 2 pay cycles to think about it and think, okay, I gave myself 2 weeks. I may not get a check. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you hate that job, think about that when you write that letter of resignation. And you're gonna need time to cool off. Then you write. Just write that letter. Then you give yourself time to talk with your spouse about it or whoever's in your house. Hey, honey, I'm about to quit this job. You may have to think about your insurance, all that, because you know what insurance is your family going to get. And you burning that bridge, man, you may burn that fire. It may lead right back to you in your house. Who knows? Then the last thing I have here, keep it professional. Keep your letter of resignation professional. Do not burn the bridge. Give whatever amount of time your job needs or requires for a letter of resignation. Industry standard, we all know, is 2 weeks. Don't do like I did and just be like, and send a text to your boss and be like, I quit because that bridge got burned. I mended it. It's better now, but you don't want to spend, a lot of your time trying to mend bridges that you've burned down because, it's going to be weak. That bridge is going to be real weak. And when you walk, you're going to be shaking and rocking and your leg may go through it. You may not fall, but your leg may go through one of the gaps that you left in the bridge. So you do not want to burn that bridge and you end up in a situation like Bill Belichick, who everybody knows is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but have your future or your livelihood be in somebody else's hands because you acted out of emotion and you made a wrong decision and you cussed the wrong person out or you just stormed off the job or do what I did, send a text to your boss and say, I quit, I'm out. Don't want to do that. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you learned something from Bill Belichick and how valuable it is to be a model employee while you're with somebody, no matter how good of an employee you are. Keep it professional. Write that letter of resignation. Sit on it for 2 weeks. That I would say, sit on it for 2 weeks. When you reach your breaking point, see if a transfer is available first. If you don't, we'll see what other options you're getting. You don't want to leave one situation out of emotion and then end up in something and end up worse off than you are now. And for more, if you want to read my blog, I quit my job to save my mental health. Go to www.dkendrickjr.com and I will put that link down below. If you've ever burned a bridge, let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this content, this playlist is going to be called From the Battlefield to the Boardroom. Like, share, and subscribe. And visit me at www.dkendrickjr.com if you're looking for a speaker. And possibly let's talk about me talking for you.